What words can so dramatically capture a moment in history that they echo through centuries, emboldening entire generations to reclaim their freedom? Give me liberty or give me death, a phrase spoken in desperation and courage, yet shrouded in mystery about its true origin. This is the story of Patrick Henry's fiery speech before the Second Virginia Convention in March of 1775, a moment that crystallized the American colony's fight against British rule and set in motion the American Revolutionary War. Long before Henry's impassioned declaration reverberated within the walls of St. John's Church in Richmond, the American colonies had suffered under a decade of mounting grievances. Following the costly French and Indian War, Britain sought to replenish its coffers by imposing a series of direct taxes on its North American territories. Laws like the Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, and the Townshend Acts were seen by many colonists as tyrannical overreach, taxation without representation in the British Parliament to which they sent no delegates. The colonists claimed their rights as Englishmen were being trampled, for they were bound to the king but owed no allegiance to a legislative body that ignored them. Into this storm of unrest rose Patrick Henry, a lawyer from Virginia, whose voice soon became one of the most vehemently opposed to parliamentary taxation. His legal brilliance first shone during the Parsons Cause of December 1663, where he boldly challenged the king's veto of a Virginia tax law. Henry contended that the monarch had breached the trust of his subjects and was unfit to rule, a daring accusation that earned shouts of treason, yet won him the fervent backing of American patriots eager for change. This early victory propelled Henry into the House of Burgesses, where he championed the Virginia Resolves, asserting the constitutional rights of colonists to self-taxation. As the 1770s dawned, tensions tightened like a noose. The Boston Tea Party of 1773 and the British government's harsh response, the Intolerable Acts, united colonies in defiance. Massachusetts faced brutal sanctions including closed ports and a military governor, while British troops garrisoned its streets. Virginia's own assembly, the House of Burgesses, declared solidarity with Massachusetts but faced dissolution by the colonial governor, Lord Dunmore. It was in this vacuum that the Virginia Conventions emerged, forums where revolutionary ideas flourished. It was March of 1775 during the Second Virginia Convention at Richmond where Henry rose to warn his peers. The time for peaceful negotiation with Britain was over. Standing before his countrymen, Henry unleashed a speech that rippled with raw urgency and unrelenting resolve. He acknowledged the patriotism of those who still hoped diplomacy might prevail, but warned that Britain's recent actions, sending troops and warships to colonial towns, left no doubt war was not just coming. It was inevitable. Henry's words cut through the illusion of peace, dismissing petitions and pleas as futile against a crown intent on subjugation. Is life so dear or peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? He thundered, closing with the immortal challenge, "Give me liberty or give me death." The weight of Henry's speech fell upon the assembly in a heavy silence. Among the listeners was George Washington, whose contemplative gaze reflected the perilous fate facing the colonies. Moved beyond words, Colonel Edward Carrington would later ask to be buried at that very church where Henry spoke, a testament to the profound impact of those impassioned words. Henry's plea galvanized the delegates, convincing them that Virginia must prepare to defend its liberties by raising a militia. The tension residing in the room was soon mirrored in the streets. On April 19, 1775, just weeks after Henry's speech, armed conflict erupted at Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts, marking the violent dawn of the American Revolution. Not long after, Virginia itself found the flame of conflict flickering dangerously close when Lord Dunmore sought to seize the colony's gunpowder supply in Williamsburg. Henry, embodying the spirit he had summoned days before, led a militia to confront the governor's forces. Though the confrontation ended without bloodshed, it presaged the violent struggle of liberty that would engulf the young nation. These events boosted Henry's stature, culminating in his election as the first governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia after the United States declared its independence in July of 1776. Yet the exact words of Henry's famous speech remain clouded in mystery. Because the speech was not transcribed at the time, the version most know today owes much to the efforts of William Wirt, who, over 4 decades later, reconstructed the speech from eyewitness accounts and scattered references. Some historians question how much of the speech, including the ringing line, "Give me liberty or give me death," was Henry's own crafting or Wirt's dramatic license. Despite these doubts, nothing diminishes the speech's symbolic power to embody the resolve of a people stepping into revolution. Today, Patrick Henry's cry for liberty endures as a beacon of courage and conviction. It echoes not only in the annals of American history but in struggles worldwide for freedom against tyranny. Its spirit reminds us that liberty is a cause worth risking everything for, and that the fight for justice often begins with a single, uncompromising voice. So when you hear the phrase, "Give me liberty or give me death," remember it as a call not only from the past but for all time, a reminder of the unyielding human quest for freedom. Enjoyed the video? Give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next one.